Welcome back, and time now to delve into some of the stories making the headlines in the international biking news. And since we had BMW with its latest model featuring a massive internal combustion engine in part 1, let's go to the other end of the spectrum and take a look at their latest small electric two-wheeler. You may remember a few weeks ago we brought you news of their CE04 model, an electric scooter in the sort of maxi scooter mould. Well, hot on the heels of the positive reception for that funky design, we have now been graced with the next model that is to be known as the CE02. At this stage it's still supposedly only a concept, but given how faithful the production CE04 has remained to its concept, we should probably expect the same here. It's not quite a motorbike, and it's not quite a scooter, and size-wise it's sort of monkey bike territory. BMW makes plenty of noises about it being aimed at the youth, which makes me happy because that means there's still some youthfulness left in me. I could see myself adding this to a garage full of toys or strapping it to the back of my camper van for transport once I arrive somewhere. Performance is more than adequate for a local runabout with a top speed of about 90 km an hour and a 90 kilometre range out of an 11 kilowatt motor and an overall package of 120 kilos. Some of the details are a bit naff, or I'm just not as youthful as I like to think because the skateboard for foot pegs doesn't appeal to me. And surprisingly, given all this focus on the younger customer, there's no fancy phone integration or apps to pair with the bike, which is strange considering everyone I know under the age of 40 seems to be permanently attached to their smartphones. Still, I like the styling and the intent, and I sincerely hope it makes it into production before too long. And very quickly, fast enough to prevent me getting any hate mail hopefully, here's a quick look at another electric bike from BMW, though this one really is an e-bike. It's also got a battery and an electric motor that will get you up to 60 km an hour and have a range of 300 kilometres. I'm not sure you'll go that far at that speed, but they're still the sort of impressive numbers that could entice a few commuters out of their tin boxes. Excuse me, I have to interrupt here because I want to share a message from this video sponsor, and it's one worth listening to for only a minute of your time because it might just change your life. I don't say that lightly, but rather from experience because it has changed our lives. My wife in particular, who now edits the show thanks to the expertise she learned via Skillshare. Wanting to change her career a couple of years ago from finance to something more rewarding, but not sure how to go about it, Skillshare offered her a fantastic range of options to explore her creative side. Everything from writing and photography through things like music and fine art, all the way to graphic design and animation. Once Jax had joined, become a member and sampled some of the classes, all of which she found inspiring, she settled on video editing with Ali Saunders, but hasn't yet explored what Skillshare has to offer about being in front of the camera, which is why I'm here doing the talking about her experience. We now work and travel together, and it has been made possible by Skillshare and their online learning community that is designed to help you better use your creative side, which, by the way, we all have. You don't have to want to do anything as drastic as Jax and change the course of your life. It's a wonderful resource and partner for those who are keen hobbyists or for people who just want to explore their creative side a little more with the help of a community of creatives that feels exactly like you do. Okay, this is now more than a minute, but we feel strongly about Skillshare. They're always adding new classes and there are no ads, and obviously it's a resource that you can take with you wherever your travels might take you. So help yourself and help us at the same time by taking a look. The first 1,000 Bike Show subscribers using the link in the description below will receive a month's free trial of Skillshare. Do it! Explore the potential within yourself and this wonderful online community. We did, and we love it. On now to a proper sport bike from Italian manufacturer MV Augusta. You may remember the Brutale RR that debuted at the EICMA Expo at the end of 2019, and that wouldn't be a surprise because a 205 horsepower naked bike that looks as mental as this is pretty difficult to forget. The RR is very expensive and it has a very racy riding position given the position of its clip-ons. This might be great for generating the ultimate level of control on the racetrack, and the same can be said for its supposedly super firm suspension setup, but they're not ideal partners for road riding, which is, after all, where a naked sport bike excels. So in an attempt to make it a friendlier proposition for the road, both in terms of comfort and price, MV is bringing us a new version that will be called the RS and will be available as a 2022 model. Instead of the RR's roughly 600,000 rand asking price, the RS will set you back a little over a measly 400,000. You'll still get all of the RR's 205 horses, but you will lose the semi-active Olin suspension in favour of Marzocchi forks and a Sachs rear shock. The clip-ons are higher, the foot pegs have also been moved, and there's a comfier seat. All the electronic rider aids remain, as they should, on a bike that is still more expensive than all of its direct competitors. Cheap is a relative term, but in MV Augusta land, this is currently the cheapest way to get 4 cylinders and an MV Augusta badge. And now, time for our last bit of news, and it concerns this fine-looking sport bike from Chinese manufacturer Huaying. Nice, isn't it? Did it remind you of anything? Let me give you a bit more time to check out its lines and then allow me to show you this. Yeah, that's not design inspiration, is it? That's a carbon copy. Except they haven't copied the engine because it's a 500cc parallel twin in the Chinese version, and I'm pretty sure the braking and suspension systems won't be worrying Yamaha's engineers anytime soon either. But just look at how blatant is the copying. There should be a law against this kind of thing. Oh, wait, there is. But because it's China, and because this sort of thing happens all the time with all kinds of products, it's obviously done with the blessing of the ruling Communist Party, and so you have no chance, regardless of how deep your pockets are, of ever obtaining any sort of justice in what might laughingly be called a court of justice in China. If you look closely, you'll see it's not just Yamaha getting shafted here. There's a MotoGP sticker on the fairing. Pretty sure they haven't given their blessing to the project. And there's a Monster Drink logo, whom I will guess haven't been asked for permission either. And strangely, there's also a HRC sticker. That's Honda's racing identity, remember? And they will obviously be delighted to be represented on a fake Yamaha. We can laugh about this level of intellectual property theft, but it really is a disgustingly illegal, morally reprehensible low-life move. Just because nobody got physically hurt during the robbery doesn't make it any better. I would say protest by not buying anything Chinese, but the way the world is these days, I might as well say don't buy anything. Such is the ubiquitous nature of Chinese manufacturing. Sorry about the rant. Back after this short break.